Presiding Officer, I welcome the Continuity Bill, and I know that local constituents certainly welcome it too. And actually taking action now to protect the future is crucial, to protect the interests of people, businesses, but also our environment. I had a discussion with a constituent last week who genuinely was raising concerns about what's going to happen to our regulations in a post-EU environment. And when I told her about this bill and the purpose of this bill, and my constituent genuinely was pleased to hear it. They were keen to learn that this Parliament was determined to focus and also work for the interests of every single person who lives here. Although the UK has taken the decision to leave the EU, even though Scotland didn't, it's vital that this Parliament does what it can to keep our standards as high as possible, aligning with our European neighbours, instead of the race to the bottom as proposed by the Prime Minister and also the Tory UK government. I thought it was actually very telling that in the session just prior to this, when MSPs from across the chamber were asking Richard Lochhead questions regarding the impact of Brexit on Scottish further and higher education. Now, the issues of Erasmus, research funding and also international researchers were key points, and genuinely it was MSPs from across the chamber. So and these were genuine questions that members were putting forward. So I do find it quite strange that Edward Mountain's comments a few moments ago just regarding, sorry, not Edward Mountain. Sorry, Alexander Burnett. I do apologise. But I do find it certainly very strange, Alexander Burnett's comments a few moments ago, when just attempting to portray this particular bill as some type of grievance bill. It certainly is not. This is a bill to actually try to protect and help our population and also some of the services within Scotland. I think the bill in front of us, however, does become even more important as a consequence of things that have happened. The proposals in this continuity bill are based on the existing strong institutional arrangements for climate change action, including the role taken by this Parliament and also the Committee on Climate Change. And our climate change legislation, as agreed by the Parliament in 2009 and also 2019, provides a strong role for regular independent expert advice from the UK Committee on Climate Change, and also in addition to our ambitious headline targets for net zero emissions by 2045. We're also the only country to have legally binding annual emissions targets, meaning that reporting to Parliament and scrutiny of progress happens every single year. I thought that submission from the Faculty of Advocates and their submission to the Environment, Climate Change and Landform Committee call for evidence on the 31st of July 2020 was very helpful. And I quote, after the end of the transition period, some areas previously subject to EU regulation will continue to require regulation at a domestic level in the interests of good government. Within those areas, the subject matter may pertain to an area within devolved competence. A power to adopt EU measures appears to us to offer a vehicle for such necessary regulation of those areas in future. Now, I believe Brexit should not mean a race to the bottom on environmental standards, which is why the Scottish Government is absolutely correct to keep pace with EU regulations. In addition, the UK is already facing the worst economic crisis in decades, and yet the Tories are still determined to crash out of the transition period this year, imposing yet more uncertainty on Scottish businesses during a global health emergency. And then add in the social and economic effects of COVID-19 in Scotland, then it's essential that some degree of certainty for our population takes place. So until such times as we become an independent country, it's important that this Parliament maintains an international outlook, and this bill does that within the limited areas that it considers. Thank you very much.